Hello, everyone. So let me give like a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Gurnoor, and all of you guys know me because of the works which I post on my page Art Output. So I would like to introduce myself not as a watercolor artist, but rather a watercolor learner, okay? Because I just feel that I'm way beyond, in that arena of becoming a watercolor artist yet. So yeah, that's about it. I'll be making the work on this particular sketchbook. This is obviously Zen Sangam's A5 sketchbook. This is basically the cover. So we will be making it on this. After that, this is about the sketchbook. Then I'll be using camel colors because I am kind of used to them. So I'll be using these. Okay, this is how they look like from inside. Pretty messy. Sorry for that, but this is going to be that. And apart from this, we will be using a masking tape. As I mentioned in the materials, we will be using like this one pencil, and we're gonna have 3 brushes, guys. Okay, so these brushes, please understand the use of every brush. This is going to be for like detailing, right? And then this next one is going to be the one, this is Brewster's Zero, and I'll be using this for like depositing pigment, like for basically picking up color and putting it on the paper. And this last one is just going to be there for like wetting the paper, right? So wetting is going to come a lot in handy. So you're just going to keep one brush for just that purpose. After that, I have these 2 Posca markers. Now, there is something brilliant which these guys do. So I have a Posca marker in red, and I also have it in white. They're basically acrylic markers, and their tip is like very, very fine. Okay, so that's all about them. Okay, now the most important part, coming to what we will be painting today. Reference picture. So the reference picture, I tried painting it once. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, guys. So this is going to be the reference which we will be making today. All right. This is how it's going to look on the A5 picture. Okay. I'll be making this on this book over here on Zen Sangam sketchbook. So the good thing about this Zen Sangam sketchbook is that they hold the water pretty well. So you can like work on them. These are just 240 GSM sheets, and they held the water pretty good as well. But this one is 245, okay? So first of all, guys, we will be taking this. I'm just going to keep the reference here, and we're just going to quickly tape it, okay? So all what you need to do is, first of all, tape your picture, so that when you remove it, it's going to give you like really clean edges.
Okay, going in here. And
right. Okay. So first of all, guys, we will be making the sketch. Now the sketch has to be very, very light. I'm using this mechanical pencil which I spray painted, and now the color has almost gone. First of all, let's just get started with that line thing. I have the eraser with me as well. Okay, so you just need to compare the proportions, I think. I don't know if it is cool. So I just feel that this is a little bit too higher. I'm just going to take it a little bit towards the bottom. Okay. The camera might shake a little bit because, yeah. All right. So now for the trees are very easy, guys. You just need to make a straight line, okay? And then just curves around it. That's it. And that's your tree done, okay? And you just need to keep doing that in slanting lines. So along the slope, you need to just make these lines, okay? I'm just going to keep this straight. So that, okay. Yeah. And just like an estimation that you know how much cover or how much area these trees are going to cover. I can also like make this a little bit darker. Let me know if that works.
Yeah, this is better. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So guys, keep telling me whatever problems, okay, are there. Yeah, so just the same thing, just a straight line and wiggle around a little bit with your pencil. And that's pretty much your trees done. Okay. So now let's paint, now let's draw a couple of mountains. So I'm just going to go in with two hills like this. So these are my background mountains, and then this is going to be my foreground mountain, like a one which is like in front of them, right? Okay. So let me just erase this because the paint is going to be very, very light over here. After this, we will be making some valleys. So valleys is nothing, just, lines intersecting like this with each other. Can make it slanting. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And that's your background done. Now comes the main part, which is drawing the hut. So guys, whenever you're painting, make sure that the sketch is absolutely perfect. Otherwise, you're going to invest so much of time in painting, and then at the end you get to know that, oh my god, the sketch wasn't good. So the trees are like really big over here. We want to give in a sense that trees are really big, so we want the hut to be like really small. Okay, just like kind of this much. That's it. So a straight line like that. So just make sure that these things look parallel. I might rub it a couple of times. Okay. So it comes down like that. Okay. You just need to like, sometimes just go backwards and have a look whether this is looking nice or not, like perspective wise. I think it's looking quite okay. Okay. Yeah, so here's going to be the entire grass thing. Okay. And then we also have a little fence going on, and that fence is going to like come on top of this. I'm not going to draw the fence, okay? We will just figure that out when we are drawing it. Okay, so is everybody done up till here? Can we proceed? Like we're done with the sketching part, okay? Yeah, should we get started with painting? Sure. Perfect, okay. Dark brownish color here. If that's too complex, you can just mix black and white, okay? That's also going to work. This is too... The board most of the times becomes my mixing palette. I'm just mixing a little bit of white here. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of happy with how the color looks like. So now, guys, I'm going to pick up this brush with which we were supposed to wet the surface, okay? Okay, now please have a look. Take decent amount of water. Don't like take dripping amount of water, like not that it is dripping, just cover. Oops. You're supposed to clean this. It's okay. With a clean wet brush, guys, just like one stroke. Cover the sky. That's it. That's all. Okay, just cover the sky. And then with my fine brush, I'm just going to take the fine brush, not the other one, because we're just working on the top and it's like very minimalistic area. You just need to go with a straight line on the top, like just a straight line, and then just drop the pigment at some places, okay? At just like some places. Drop a little bit pigment here and there. That's it. And then with this wet brush again, I am going to like blend them all together. Just one stroke over top of the mountains. Okay. And that's it. You're done with the sky part. That's it. You're not going to touch it too much. Make sure that you don't put too much of pigment, right? Now we can come to the mountain part. See, guys, when anything is far away from us, like really far away from us, that picture starts to blur away, okay? And if you want to blur anything in watercolors, just do wet on wet technique. So this is the first technique which we've learned, which is called wet on wet, right? For the mountains also, I'll be applying the same strategy. I'll be using the same color. I'm going to first of all wet the mountains, and make sure that when you're wetting it, it shouldn't be too much. Like, don't crazy like wet them, just a decent amount of water. Okay, taking this pigment again. So just a little bit, and then a little bit towards the bottom, a little bit on the top, and then as you come towards the bottom, just increase the pigment. But this is also too dark, so with that clean brush, I am going to blend this, okay? Like a little, yeah. So I just don't want to give an exact picture of what's happening in the background, just a little sense. And then this is the foreground, like this mountain is in front of the ones behind. So this is going to be a little bit more pigmented, but make sure this is also a part of the, what is it called? The background only. So we just need to, in totality, keep it like darker. And that's it, done, okay? And for these hard edges, I'm just going to put water and blend it. Let it come and towards this section. We really don't mind that. Okay, and that's your mountains done. Now for this section, guys, please understand what we're going to do. It is basically this section over here, this section, right? We'll be putting in a blend of 3 colors, which is going to be lemon yellow. Then we'll be putting yellow, or which is gouache hue in the camel palette. Then we will be putting like some strokes of yellow ochre, and then some sap green, and as in these 3 colors, lemon, yellow, yellow ochre, and sap green, like a blend of these colors. So first we'll be wetting the area and then putting a blend of these 4 colors over here. Okay, we don't still want it to be like very dark. Why? Because it's still in the background. Okay, so I'm just getting some paint on my, some water on this brush of mine. Now, one more important thing, guys, before you do this wet on wet technique is that make sure that first of all, you're ready with the pigments which you want to drop in, because what's going to happen, you have wet the paper. Okay, now you will be like mixing them and wasting so much of time. The paper is going to get swelled up. Okay, so you don't want that. As soon as you wet the paper, make sure that you have all your colors ready. So sap green is just this beautiful color over here. Okay, cool. Are we ready? Should we continue?
Hello.
Guys, should we continue, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
The colors that we will need once again.
Sorry?
Can you repeat the colors that we will be needing once again?
First of all, I'm going to take a good amount of this pigment and drop it here. Okay, make sure that the brush is clean. Mine wasn't, so we have some hints of this mountain thing over here. This might look really dark right now, but eventually, guys, this is going to like become very light when it dries up. So you can put a good amount of pigment, not too much though. Okay, so I've just covered the basic thing with yellow, lemon yellow. Now in this, I'll be putting in some hints of, this is yellow. So you can just place this anywhere, okay? The beauty about watercolors is that it has its own mind and it's just going to blend itself. And there you go with some yellow ochre. This is some strokes of yellow ochre here. Okay. I'm not going to cover this entire thing because this is anyways going to be covered with the trees. Okay. So I really don't want to waste time putting it over there. Now mixing yellow and green together and putting it here and there. Okay. A little bit here and there. That's it. And you're done. That's it. Don't like overwork. This is my habit to overwork, but don't get into that habit. That's it. Okay, guys? So let's get started. First of all, we're going to wet this. So first of all, because this little section is disconnected from this one over here, I'll just paint this one first. So I'm just taking sap green straight away and putting it over here. Take sap green, put it over here. And a little bit of different shades. So this is a cooler shade of green. Putting it here. Okay. Now, guys, the best part comes, which is working in this section. So, guys, we're going to wet this up. Again, not dripping amount of water, just decent amount. Okay, now comes the fun part, guys. Get ready. Okay, we will be splattering all kinds of color over here. So let's bring in sap green straight away. Okay, sap green straight away. This is right. Just put it everywhere. Now I'm mixing yellow ochre and sap green because this color looks too unnatural a little bit because yeah. So a little bit that in the background. Don't think that it's getting too dark. Oh my God, I shouldn't be putting it. No, just go in, guys. This was the part which I enjoyed the most in all the paint, like in all the practice things which I did. Just put lots of pigment here and there. Okay. Then into this same mixture, I am just going to put in some brown here because we want to make it like really, really dark. This thing should stand out from this one. Okay. All right. So the front section has to be really dark. So guys, just go in with lots of pigment. Okay. This is still not enough. This is still not enough. I'm just going to go with, I think this is called Viridian hue. And guys, when I just want to get things to like done really quickly, I just start adding black. Now there's this rule that you shouldn't be using black and white in watercolors, but I use black color shamelessly. I can't like really work without using black color. So this is a foreground. It needs to be really, really dark. Okay. And yeah, I think this much would be enough. So I'm just adding in black to the green and adding it in the front. And let's put a little bit here as well. This is looking really out of the place. Okay. And we are done. Okay. We're pretty much done. I can see this thing in the center, which I don't really like. So I'm just going to mix yellow ochre with green and kind of make a stroke there. Just do anything over here, really doesn't matter because everything is going to blend up. Okay, I think I did too much. Okay, let it be now. Now, guys, okay, comes the best part. You are going to clean this brush, okay? Don't take the brush which you use for the washes. Take this 0 brush or whichever number you're using. Make sure that it does not have like too much of water. And then we're going to splatter. So just have a look. So when this splatters, it is going to like push away the pigment and, you know, it's just going to form this flowery shape. And that looks really, really beautiful. But make sure that you don't do that too much, okay? Just a decent amount. Yeah. Now I am going to, so this technique is called splattering in watercolors. Now I'll be taking in some black, mixing it with this sap green color. I really don't mind if the black is too much and the sap green is not. See guys, I'm not a professional. People say not to use it, but I don't really. I just can't stop myself from using this, and splatters of this pigmented color. Let's not go too crazy. Ooh. Okay, I know it's entering here, but anyways, that's going to get covered with darker pigments, so it's all good. Okay, I think apart from the page, I've spread it everywhere else. Anyways, okay, so that's the foreground done for the time being. Okay, we need to do lots of things here, but for the time being, it's absolutely done. Now, guys, we'll be coming to this part, which is this trees part. Very, very important. Guys, understand, in nature, we have these, we don't have these direct colors, but when we mix, let's say, sap green with yellow ochre, or when we mix sap green with this really dark brown color, we are going to deposit all of that over here. Okay, so we're just going to like make it very simple, wetting this area and then just like depositing color, all sorts of greens and mixtures which we can make. Okay, so that's going to be the strategy over here. So first of all, I'm going to go like very light over the shape of the trees so that you can see. Okay, just have a look at how we do one tree, and that's the phenomena which you have to like follow for all the other trees. Very, very easy, nothing difficult. Okay, so right now my brush is loaded with water, so it has lots of water. So I'm just going to go in with like a straight line. Make sure that you don't like press it too hard, and then just like, just spots here and there, and then you're just going to like bring it down together. The same strategy for all of them. Okay, and make sure that you leave some negative spaces. Okay, this went a little bit too hard, but whatever, we'll just cover this. So I'll just do this for like 3 trees. This is not dried up yet anyways. So these are the branches of the trees. Okay, and then just carry forward this. Don't worry about that you can see this thing like the background from these trees. These trees are going to get like really, really dark. Okay, I'm just creating a base. Don't worry that it's messed up. Don't worry about anything right now. Just create the basic shape of these things. So towards the end of the lesson, guys, I'm going to show you one material which is like going to change the watercolor game forever, like for you guys. Okay, so you have to buy that material. I'm not sponsoring it, but it's actually wonderful. It works like magic. So this, guys, I've just created a base. Okay, we need to like now start putting in colors. So let's get started. So I'm just going to start with the lightest color available, which is yellow ochre. Okay, like just go in with it. So just cleaned the brush a little bit, going in with yellow ochre wherever you feel like. This is the best part, that the watercolors, do half of the job themselves. You just need to deposit some pigment. Okay, just gonna make a base layer for the colors to come down. Just bring this pigment. Now, guys, we need to like work really, really fast. Like whatever color you just see, shades of green, just bring them in. Okay, and then most of them are going to be like sap green mixed with yellow ochre. So wherever you see these branches getting dried up, just go in and put some pigment there over again. Like put some pigment again so that they just come back to life. If you have any questions, please ask. Now, guys, I am getting impatient. So, you know, it's time for black to come in. Okay. A person like me gets impatient while making a watercolor painting, which like takes the least amount of time. I can never do realistic art. So I'm just mixing sap green. Okay. A straight line. Not covering the entire thing, but just a little bit of sap green here and there to give the feeling of like that it's three-dimensional, the darkness. Okay, this is, what is it? Wetting here, like drying up. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of pigment, dark black color. Black color. Guys, these trees like need to be really dark, okay? Because of something which is going to happen towards the end. So we can just keep maybe the middle part a little bit less pigmented, but as we come towards the bottom, this section needs to be really, really dark. Just making this trees thing was the most time-consuming part. Rest are just the details. I was so nervous about the workshop. It was like, once it gets done nicely, I'll be relaxed. Okay, now I am going to mix this color, which is Viridian hue. Okay, bring this over here. And I'm not going to put it in this form. I will bring black. If you guys are not comfortable mixing black with the color, you can mix this brown, dark, deep brown shade as well. Now I'm going to put this at the bottom. Okay. And just like make little strokes here and there. You know, if your watercolor paper is wet, this is just going to blend it, you know, itself. You don't really have to do much. And I told you the quality of the, you know, the water holding capacity of these books are really good. So you can work on them for a really long time. Just keep doing that. So yeah, just drop. Now I feel like that I need to make the tops a little bit darker as well. So I'll just deposit some pigment there. Now guys, I'm not covering the entire thing, okay? So whatever was already covered, so if a bigger section was covered, I'm just going in with like little drops and it's going to blend it itself. Line, because this was too light, okay? This is just merging with the background and that can't happen. This is the middle ground and it needs to be really prominent. Okay, we are coming to the end of these trees. Almost done. Guys, you can talk as well. I mean, if you want to share any experiences or anything. You know, sometimes it feels too weird that you're just talking to yourself for like 1 hour. But it's okay. I was kind of somewhere prepared. All right, no worries. Maybe if we have some other workshop, we will open up a little bit more. Okay, I think, guys, we should now stop with this thing. I am just going to put in a little bit more dark values towards the end, okay? Because this thing is still wet. I have an opportunity. So I'm going to bring in more, what is this? Black. Mix it with Viridian hue. And now I'm just going to concentrate on the bottom line. And I'm just going to make these spikes over here, okay? These spikes basically symbolize the grass, which is like, you know, like coming out of here. So yeah. Some spikes here. Guys, if you don't understand anything, please let me know, huh? Make sure that around the hut, it's pretty dark. And just go in like, go in with swirling motions. Guys who all are sending me messages on Instagram, thank you so much. I'll just respond back once I'm done with this, okay? I'm not that multitasker. Okay, I think the trees are looking fine enough, okay? Maybe some dark strokes here. See, you don't want to completely make them dark because this is in the middle ground. You need to have some variation, okay? I think I should stop now before I just like keep doing it too much. Okay, some detailing here and there. Okay. Now, guys, we need to stop. Otherwise, we're just going to spend all the time on these trees. Right. Now, let's come to this section. First of all, we are not going to touch the hut yet. Why? Because this paint is still wet, okay? If you're going to like put paint over here, these two colors are going to bleed and it's going to become a mess. So now we're just going to cover the foreground completely. So for this, we're almost done with like the foreground. It has lots of texture, but we will be learning a new technique here. So guys, you're going to take your fine brush. Even this one is going to work. But I would suggest if you are just doing this technique for the first time, just go in with the fine brush, okay? We're going to like, you know, what is it? Dip it in the pigment. Make sure that it's not too watery, okay? Make sure it's not too watery, but it just has the right amount of water. And you need to have like this kind of a shape, okay? This, I don't know, just a flat kind of a shape. And I'm just going to put my nail over here and like make a grass-like structure, okay? So have a look of how it's going to happen. I'll be putting the grass over here because this is the foreground. Okay, let's go. So the first time it might not look really good, but eventually it becomes fine. Oops, I'm sorry. So I don't know what this technique is called. So you'll get strokes like these, okay? And just keep going in. We want thin strokes. Even if the strokes are not thin, don't worry, just go in. Okay, and that's the foreground grass done. I don't want to overdo it, but this thing has to be dark, like, guys. Okay. Guys, always remember, if you're making a hut or anything, the corners on both the sides, you need to make them dark as well. That's how they're going to stand out, okay? So we're going to make this really, like, not really dark, but some grass over there and some grass on this side as well. Okay, and we're going to put some grass over here because I'm going to drop in some acrylic paints which are going to act as the flowers. So I'll be like putting the grass over here so that the flowers can come on the top. Okay. So you can just like put a little bit here. Okay, one beautiful tip which I have observed from Alicia Aradila. I think if anybody follows me would know who she is. She's a beautiful artist from Spain. What she does is that she covers this entire thing, you know, the entire foreground with a very dark color, or like with grass like structure. If you guys, you know, stay connected, I'll just show you what I got to learn from her. I just have it all in my files, but only if the time allows, I'll show it to you, okay? And if you guys are interested. Okay, so yeah, I think this much would be enough. And let's stop it there, okay? So now, guys, this hasn't dried up, so I can't really touch this section till this thing over here dries up, you know, completely. So I think now it's time that we can move on to this section over here, okay? Please understand what's happening in this section. I think I dropped too much of yellow. This is like looking too prominent, but okay, it's okay. So if you look over here, guys, we are going to be making these trees, an illusion of trees which are like really far away, okay? This has to be very messy, okay? So if it doesn't goes according to the plan, it's all right. What are we going to do? See, understand, this is again in the background. So we want to make trees which are blurry. We don't want to make trees which have like defined shapes. So these trees were in the front, so therefore they had like defined endings and everything. But these ones are in the background and we really don't care that much about them. So whenever you want to blur anything, wet the paper. I think that's a little bit too much of water. I am just going to kind of take it away. Okay. So now, this is actually very fun part over here. You're going to pick up this paint, okay? Let's say I'm picking up sap green, but I think it has some hints of the black, which I already used. Now, guys, what you want to do is just put dots. That's it. And the water will do rest of the work. And that's your tree done, okay? Make sure that you're placing these dots at a little bit of distance because the water is going to like make these fluff up anyway. So yeah, and that's your trees done, okay? So this is that easy. So some coming down like this way as well. And you can definitely change the color of the trees because the trees are not always going to be of the same color. So I'm just mixing ochre into this sap green over here. Now, as I'm coming towards the front, I just want to make these trees like a little bit larger. So guys, nothing. In the name of trees, I'm just putting in dots over here. Some dots here and there. Maybe a little, some like really tiny ones. See, if I could have, I would have like definitely wetted this area as well. But that's gonna take some time. Okay, now I'm just gonna go in with like a little stroke to show the hill thing. Okay, maybe a little stroke here as well. Some over here. And going in. I think that's enough. We shouldn't be touching this section more, okay? My problem is that I just start to overdo it and then I just realize after ruining it a little bit that I should have stopped a while ago. But okay, I'm gonna stop now, I think. Right, so we will be adding the shadows later on because I don't want the shadows to like, spread on top of the paper, okay?